We are so not qualified to do
No,
this.
no.
That's what's interesting about this. We're just not. We just should not be doing this.
The Nelk Boys are in trouble. Hello, my name is Liz Ashley and welcome to my channel. Obviously, I am not in my normal apartment, so I'm actually out of town right now. Today, we're going to be talking about the Nelk Boys and we're going to be talking about AOC. The two kind of happened around the same time, and so I just wanted to talk about both of those things. So, the Nelk Boys. Now, I don't really know who they are. I don't really watch them. I only know of them because of Hassan. I know they're in like the bro sphere, right? And apparently they started out with like prank videos and stuff. And then I do remember that they had Donald Trump on their podcast, and I remember when that happened. Like a lot of these people who are like bro podcasts or who are just like content creators are getting like super political, and a lot of them don't really know or like understand what's going on. I'm not a fan of like the bro sphere and the bro podcast, and I don't think like even Joe Rogan, like I don't think that they should be taken seriously or really listened to on anything important. And unfortunately, they are. Everyone like looks to them now as if they're tapped in into what's going on politically. And I'm like, they're not. That's why it's so funny when Jank was like, oh, I may not call him the brosphere anymore. Maybe that was wrong. Anna's like, smart. Come on. These people are not serious. They do not care. But the Nelk Boys recently had Benjamin Netanyahu on their podcast. So they have been interviewing tons of people recently, political people. And most of them have been on the right. They've Donald Trump. I think they've done Sean Hannity. They did Bill Maher. Oh my God. Oh God, I hate Bill Maher. I consider him on the right. Anyway, so they've been interviewing all these crazy people. And the craziest, having Netanyahu on your podcast, like that crosses the line. Like everyone was upset with this. They haven't gotten any good feedback. Everyone is mad at them. There is some sort of a common ground, not always for the right reasons, between people on the left and people on the right. But this is some sort of a common ground, and so they got zero. Like they nobody is happy with them right now. Everyone is mad at them. And personally, I think that's good. Like, I think that's a good thing. I think people should be mad at them. I think it's crazy to do something like this and not understand why it's wrong. Hassan and Adam Friedland actually like confronted them on this, and I was listening when this happened, and it was just crazy. It was crazy because I feel like they're not fully taking responsibility and they're not fully understanding the weight of the situation. Hassan is talking to the Nelk Boys, and then he brings in Adam Friedland, and I think Adam actually did really well because Adam just seemed more like outraged than anything. He was like, not everything has to be content, and again, I understand. I'm like a slop tuber. I can be a slop tuber as well when it comes to like talking about jank and talking about online drama and stuff like that. But I try to also put like my, values and my politics in there. But this is just like, I feel like beyond the pale, to interview a war criminal when you knowingly admit that you are not educated on this. Like when you knowingly admit that you are not educated on this, and then you go and you interview Benjamin Netanyahu and then even preface it with, we don't know what we're talking about, but we're gonna get educated today, is psychotic. Like that's psychotic. Like I don't understand like how you can sit there and you can be like, yeah, I don't know what's going on, but let's listen. Let's listen to the war criminal, and that's how we're gonna get educated.
We are so not qualified to do
No,
this.
no.
That's what's interesting about this. We're just not. We just should not be doing this.
It's insane. And of course, they did not get educated. Of course, Netanyahu lied the whole time. Like they asked like a question, they said, so crazy to me that this person is actively doing this. And you're just like asking them this question as if they're not going to lie. It's just so insane to me. They're like, so people are saying that you are starving people. Is that true? And of course, he says no. And he's like, oh, that's just Hamas. What? What? No, it's not. You're not letting Aiden. One. Two. Anyone, well, they're not letting aid in because they have their own aid group now that is murdering people anytime they try to get food. Anytime they try to get food, they are getting shot.
Why do they say Israel's like starving the people of Gaza?
Well, because we're trying to get the food in, and we let food trucks in, and guess what happens when we let them in? Hamas steals the food, takes the good chunk for itself, then sells at inflated prices.
Why are more Palestinians not siding with Israel against Hamas then?
So wait, what's your response to what he answered us? You didn't even talk about that.
It's a fucking lie. No human rights organization that works on the ground, from the UN to the World Food Program, has ever agreed to the Israeli position that this is all Hamas stealing aid or whatever. As a matter of fact, they've openly said that that is not the case at all.
And you know, he'll say, oh, that's Hamas. Like there have been a good amount of people I've talked to who are like, oh, well, maybe it's just Hamas. No, it's not. No, there have been whistleblowers. They have admitted that they are just point blank shooting people who are trying to get food.
This individual is a 25-year U.S. military veteran who is sounding the alarm about the horrific ways that Palestinians are being treated there, who are, starving to death and desperately trying to seek any aid they can possibly get. Let's take a listen to a little bit of that.
You're a veteran of the United States Army who has been deployed to combat 12 times, 4 different wars. I never in my entire military career have I been a part of, allowed, or bystander to the use of force against unarmed innocent civilians. Ever. There is no fixing this. This needs to be put an end to it.
But do the NELKBOYS know that? Do they push back? Do they know that? They don't. They don't, which is why they are not equipped to have this interview. They're not equipped for this. They know they're not equipped for this, and they did it anyway. And it's like, honestly, that saying of like having the confidence of a mediocre white man, honestly, I wish I did. Every day of my life, I wish I did. I'll post something and I'll be like, man, I don't know, like maybe I didn't do that well, maybe I didn't explain it that well. But it's like, you have people like the NELKBOYS going over here and having interviews with this man and totally like thinking that's okay, even though they're not educated, even though they're not going to push back, and thinking that's okay. Like it's crazy to me. And one question they did push back on is when they asked him like if he had McDonald's or whatever, and he was like, actually, I like Burger King. And they're like, oh, no. That's like the hardest they push back, when he said he liked Burger King.
What's your go-to at McDonald's?
No, I'll tell you, Burger King. We did the double,
Whopper?
The double,
I haven't ripped Burger King in a long time.
Burger King kind of sucks.
Yeah.
No,
The
you're wrong.
BK Lounge can hit.
I disagree completely.
You like Burger King over McDonald's?
That's your worst take, I think.
Absolutely.
That's a crazy take.
You are humanizing. You are humanizing someone who is a war criminal, who is a criminal in their own country, who is committing atrocities because he wants to stay in power and doesn't want to go to trial in his own country. But again, do the NELKBOYS know that? I don't think that they do. Herein lies the problem. And so, Hassan is telling him all this. Adam's like, there are children dying. like Adam is like going off. Adam's like, there are children dying, you guys. Like, what are you doing? And he's like, you guys are the prank guys. Like, why do you have to do this?
We have to do it.
60,000 people, lowest estimates, are dead right now.
We understand. We have empathy with everyone who's been affected by the war in general, but we are going to have a pro-Palestinian on next week. That's what we do here. We do not.
He's charged with as a war criminal by the ICC. It's like, you could have Slobodan Milosevic on?
We would have a lot of people on. We would have anyone on.
It's true. And so it's just like, it's crazy. It's crazy. And they're like, well, obviously our audience is really smart because nobody liked this. They're like, well, obviously it's okay because everyone was mad at us. I'm like, no, it's not okay. And I think that's exactly what your audience is saying. I think you're getting the wrong insight from this, friends. And it's just so stupid. But let's read some of the comments. They're hilarious. Um, someone said, I miss when YouTube used to show dislikes. This was pitched to Netanyahu like this. Don't worry, these guys are idiots. You can use their platform to push whatever propaganda you want, and they won't push back on anything. Oh, I'm so happy the comments did not disappoint. It's heartwarming to see that our humanity is not dead and all of us aren't heartless idiots. You guys didn't question him once. This is crazy. Asking him if he prefers Burger King or McDonald's while people are starving is insane. It is insane and it's crazy. Like, I don't even know what to say at this point. I don't. Like, it's just crazy. Not everything is content. Like, this is not content. This is like, you are doing propaganda for this man, and whether you're going to say, oh well, no one liked it anyway, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You are humanizing him. You are doing propaganda for him, and then they're like, well, we don't agree with him. Well, we don't want people to die. We don't agree with him. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you agree with him or not, because you had him on there. You didn't push back. You didn't know what you were talking about. You are doing propaganda for him. No ifs, ands, or buts about it, man. You can sit here and you can try to negate the blame all you want and be like, oh, well, we're gonna have both sides on. And when they were talking about both sides, they were saying, yeah, we're talking to Hassan right now, but we've talked to Sneeko and we've talked to, Fresh and Fit. And I think they even said Nick Fuentes. And I'm like, oh my God. Hassan's like, do not lump me in with them. Do not lump me in with them. Ethan's like, you shouldn't be talking to them either. Like, they're content creators, so like whatever, but like it's bad enough you're also talking to them, which is true. I agree. Like, it's bad enough that you're like, oh, I'm listening to other point of views. Like,
Right now, we just had Netanyahu on. A bunch of people watched it. I think a lot of people saw through what he was saying. Now, already on the same day, we've had 3 people on with complete opposite viewpoints: Hassan, Sneeko, Myron, Nick Fuentes. So
Okay.
and then
Those don't
wait, let me
loop
finish.
me in
Let
with
me
those
finish.
guys.
Let me finish. I
Don't
said we
don't
have
put me in the
beliefs
same
as one. I
category
said
as these
opposite
guys.
viewpoints of Netanyahu. Let me finish. So already we've had 4 people with opposite viewpoints on the very same day.
like Nick Fuentes, like, give me a break. Like, that's also psychotic. And he's like, don't lump me in with them. And then Adam's like, this is not about content creators. Like, you need to have historians on. Like, you need to have people who know what they're talking about on. Talking to Sneeko is not the same as laundering Benjamin Netanyahu and acting like he's just some bro. Like, what? Like, it's honestly insane. Like, it's so crazy. Adam at one point was like, I get you guys are scared, I get you're doing PR, but like, just go back to like pranks and stuff, which I thought was funny. And they're like, no, we're good, man, we're not scared, we're good. And I'm like, you're not good. I don't think you are. And I think you are trying to do PR, and I think you are scared. Like, did you not think about this before you did this interview? Or were you just like, I'm going to get clout off of this, I'm going to get clicks off of this, and so I'm going to interview him? It's insane. Like, it's honestly insane. Like, I don't know what else to say other than like, they need to be more responsible with their platform. Like, 100%. They need to be way more responsible with their platform, whether the audience can see through it or not. Like, I understand that his audience can see through it. Most people can see through it at this point. Almost everyone can see through it at this point, which makes this even worse. Which brings me to AOC. Marjorie Taylor Greene had an amendment in this bill where we would cut the funding we give to Israel for defensive stuff, like I was gonna say Golden Dome. God damn it. The Iron Dome. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. America is melting my brain. The Iron Dome. So Marjorie Taylor Greene had this amendment. Now, listen, I don't like Marjorie Taylor Greene. I hate her. I will always hate her. And I think she's coming at this from an anti-Semitic point. But we should stop funding them. We should stop giving them money. That is what everyone's asking for. And so if she's going to do that, then great. Then great. Then this is the one point where I'd be like, yeah, you should vote with her. You should do that. You should do that. She's actually doing something. And again, I don't like her and I will never like her, but she actually did something good. And a lot of other progressives voted for it. And AOC did not. She did not vote for it. So people are mad at her. People are calling her out. And she's been like so defensive, and like there's been a few different times where she has screwed up. Like I forgot what it was, but she had on some group and she was talking to them about this, and it was just horrible. Like it was horrible, and she let them launder like anti-Semitic talking points about like, conflating Zionism and Judaism. Everyone was mad at her then, and so she's not really been that great on this. And you know, a lot of people have been very upset with her, which I think is valid. I think she's trying to play this game because she wants higher office, which I understand, which I think she would be good in higher office, and I would like that. But I do think that it's frustrating that even after Zoran won, and she still feels this need to like placate to the corporate Dems, and I don't know why. Because people like Rashida Tlaib voted with Marjorie Taylor Greene. Summer Lee voted with Marjorie Taylor Greene. Like, Ilhan Omar, like, a lot of people voted for this, and she did not. She was getting defensive, and she was like, you know, people are saying that I voted to fund Israel. I did not. Like, she's like, I've never voted to fund them. So she said that, she was like, oh, everyone's saying that I voted to fund bombs going over to Israel and stuff like that. But, but I didn't do that. And it's like, okay, so now we're just playing semantics at this point. We're just playing semantics at this point because later in another tweet, they have the right for like defensive weapons. Personally, I don't think we should be funding it. And funding their defensive weapons helps to prolong this. And so I don't understand how she doesn't see that. And I don't understand how we can't use leverage like funding their Iron Dome, but instead she doesn't vote with the rest of the progressives and then tries to like pawn it off as like, oh, well, Marjorie Taylor Greene did it. And listen, I get it. I don't like Marjorie Taylor Greene. Okay, Cori Bush. I love Cori Bush. She is one of my most favorite people. Okay, I love her so much. I have gone to a protest where she came and she didn't like. She just joined it. It wasn't a big deal. She just joined as a regular person going to this protest. She is amazing and she does a lot of amazing things. And she was recently at some like thing with Josh Hawley. So there's a lot of like nuclear waste in Missouri, in different parts of Missouri, that is like poisoning people. And Cori Bush had an amendment that I guess ended up in the big bill that went through to help people with that. Now, again, I don't like Josh Hawley. I don't like that bill. But that is a good amendment, and I'm glad Cori Bush fought for it. And so he was like commending her. There were people criticizing that, and I'm like, well, I mean, this is one of the instances where I'm like, she did something actually really good, and like she should be acknowledged for that, and that should be acknowledged. Now, never trust Josh Hawley. He is a horrible person, and so all the bro people or Jank and everyone who's like, oh, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Don't do that. He is a horrible person, and as a person who I am his constituent, he always lies. He is always just there for the PR, okay? He's not there because he cares. He went, after the tornado happened, he went for like 1 day and acted like he gave a shit. He does not. And so it's, listen, listen, do not trust that man. That doesn't mean that like Cori Bush doing that isn't good and that she shouldn't be praised for that, you know? And so same with this. Like, I hate Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't like her. I don't trust her. I don't think she's coming from a good place. But you know what? That was a good amendment. That was a good amendment. And voting no on it, just on the basis of that, is crazy. To act like that we all should just like cut you some slack when your track record is not great on this, then I don't know what to say. Like, you keep disappointing people and you keep acting like we're the ones being crazy when it's like, no, man, people can see through this. Like, just stop. And so I don't know. And I think ever since Zoran won, people are even more critical because they're like, you don't have to do this. Like, you don't have to do this. You do think that she wants higher office. I don't know if it's Senate or president or whatever, which again, I still think would be good. I still would want that. But it's just, I think that's what she's doing, and it's getting increasingly frustrating. She's better than a lot of other people, but like, it's, you know, I do think it's that thing where it's like, we can't idolize politicians, or we can't look at a politician and think that they're going to like really change things up. Like, we have to keep on them and we have to keep criticizing them no matter who they are. You know, even with Zoran, like, I love Zoran, but like, you know, one day there may be something that like he's not great on. We should be able to criticize him in that moment, you know? We need to hold politicians accountable. Like, they're not just the bros, like, you know, they're not just sitting with the bros. It's not just like like the NELKBOYS with Benjamin Netanyahu. Like, it's not just the bros hanging out. They are important people with important jobs that alter our lives. We should not idolize them. We should not put them on a pedestal because they're making decisions about you and I. And so we need to hold them accountable. That's what I think about the NELKBOYS. That's what I think about AOC. All right, that is the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. I am really trying to grow my channel. I'm trying to get to 2,000 subscribers. I just got to 1,000. I'm trying to get to 2,000. So if you want to help, that would be amazing. I also have a membership. I've been posting pictures from this trip that I'm on there. I have some videos like how I became a leftist and stuff like that. Yeah, check it out and let me know what you think below. I would love to hear your thoughts, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Shout out to my members. Thank you to all my members. We have Troy Roberto and Queen of Daydreams. Thank you so much for supporting me. It means the world to me, honestly. And if you want to get a shout out, please join my membership and support my channel. Bye.